evening again, everyone. You've not seen me out on a wild camp for a while. Of course, that's because of what's been going on in the world lately. This is my first wild camp since, well, way before the lockdown. This has been a long time coming, and it feels great to be back out again. Now that kind of it's sort of, I suppose, morally okay to wild camp, that's what I'm going to start doing again. So I'm down on the coast near Hastings in East Sussex. I've actually been to this spot before, not to camp but just to recce it, to see if it was suitable for a wild camp, and it certainly is. This is one of two spots that I scouted out quite a while back now with the very lovely Candice. I'm on my own tonight, by the way. It's a rare solo wild camp as well. So this spot was kind of like my second choice. The first one is just over that way, and it's a much bigger, flatter area. There's actually like a fire pit made out of rocks, and there's a grill and even a little rubbish bag that someone's left. It's quite popular, I think, with wild campers, and it's also a clothing optional beach, so you see the odd nudist as well. But I always find they make the best beach wild camp locations for some reason. They're usually out of the way, secluded, and this is pretty secluded. It's quite difficult to get to. You have to come right down the side of the cliffs, along like a little sort of like a river, like cut into the rocks, and that's, you know, it's fairly fast flowing. It's absolutely lovely. It's like something out of Jurassic Park. Yeah, that other flat spot was at the time it was currently in use by a big family, and I think they had a fire going and stuff like that, and I sort of was hanging around waiting for them to go, and I thought I'll go over there and set up, but I got bored. I tested the pegs out here because it's very dry, hard ground, and they went in fine, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to stay here for tonight. It's a perfectly good spot. As I say, not as much space, but it will do. Apart from day walks, I've literally done nothing to do with wild camping. I've actually really taken it quite easy with the channel. I've not posted as much as often. I just kind of needed a little bit of a break from it, like not a full-on break, but I just wanted to, you know, sort of take time out to focus on other things. I've been kind of rebuilding my home gym. As I say, you know, in case you've not followed the channel for long, I'm a personal trainer and a gym instructor, so that's kind of important to me to have, you know, a really good setup. And of course the gyms were closed, so I sold off a lot of equipment that I had that I wasn't using for like house visits for clients, and instead I bought myself a whole new load of fancy equipment, some strongman equipment, the sort of stuff you see on the TV, World's Strongest Man, that sort of thing. And I've just really got into strongman training and like powerlifting and stuff like that, and I've always been interested in weight training for over 10 years, so really all my money has been spent on that. I actually did alright. I still had like a couple of shifts a week at the leisure centre where I work in the gym, and we were just clearing stuff out and sort of getting it ready for the reopen, and there was a lot of stuff being chucked away, a lot of equipment, and they said we don't need it because the new owners are not going to want that stuff, it's old and tatty. And I went, can I have it? And they went, of course. So I got a load of stuff for free, and I had to, as I say, buy a lot of new equipment. So I've been focusing on that really, and I've just been really enjoying it. And I've bought literally nothing, well, next to nothing in terms of wild camping or walking equipment. I bought like this new fleece, a new pair of trousers from Decathlon the other day, a new pair of boots, just sort of, you know, clothing, stuff that I needed, not stuff that I want, you know, the boring stuff that you need to get anyway. No tents, nothing like that, honestly. The odd dehydrated meal ready for when, you know, we can start wild camping again. So I'm amazed I actually managed to get the tent set up, because I've not touched the tent in months. I'll show you what tent I've got. There we go, it's Old Faithful again. It's the Wild Country Helm 1. It's one of my favourite tents, and I've had it a while now. I keep meaning to do like a review video on it, like a long-term owner's review, sort of to see, you know, what I think of it, and you know how it's served me really, and it's served me really well. I absolutely love it. I'm kind of getting away from like buying a new shelter or a new bit of kit and then reviewing it straight away. I'm thinking I'm going to kind of field test it first for, you know, a few months and then review it, because you know you don't really get a feel for whether it's going to work or not, whether it's going to be suitable for your needs. Well, the Helm 1 is absolutely perfect. It's one of my favourite tents. I own, I think, 4 tents now, and this one, it still serves its purpose, even though I've got a Terra Nova Laser Comp 1. That is a great tent, it serves its uses, but this also has certain uses that the Comp 1 doesn't. So anyway, I'm digressing. So I brought that out with me tonight. I brought my chair, as you see I'm sat down. I just want this to be a relaxing kind of video. It's my first wild camp back. Don't want to do any long distance walking or anything. It was about an hour and 45 minutes drive for me down to here, but it's well worth it just to get out, see the sea in front of you. It's a lovely night, and there's a few people sort of knocking about. There's actually a little tent just down below here, like a pop-up tent. Don't know if anyone's in it or not, or what's going on. Yeah, I've got 3 ciders tonight to share with you and review, and they're all from my mate Jason, who's a long-term subscriber and a good mate. Lives in Tasmania. He sent me this hat as well. You may well remember that video. He sent me loads of stuff for my birthday. That'll be up here. And he also sent me a couple of ration packs, one of them being an Australian Armed Forces 24-hour mammoth ration pack. I've got that with me tonight. I've not had a ration pack in ages, so I've bought plenty of like my acid reflux tablets and stuff like that, just in case it flares up. I've not actually had any issues with that for a while. I've made some really key lifestyle changes and stuff, lots of herbal teas, more exercise, not eating so late at night, cutting out certain foods, and it's really helped. So I just get a bit of heartburn every now and then. Get it every now and then from CIDERS as well, so we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. Jason's got a channel, by the way, called J&J Explore. It's him and his wife out in Tasmania. They do walks, wild camping, stuff like that, so definitely check them out. I'll try and remember to put a link below for you to check them out and subscribe, follow him. He's a really lovely guy, Jason, and his wife, and they've been really supportive of my channel, so I really appreciate that. Thank you for the gifts again, mate. He's also the guy that lost a ridiculous amount of weight. He lost, I hope I don't get this wrong, mate, something like over 100 kilos. He literally halved his body weight. He won't mind me saying, he was pretty obese, and he lost a load of weight, started walking more and eating right and stuff, and he says that I inspired him to do that. I motivated him. So yeah, brilliant. Thank you, mate. That's one of the greatest compliments you could probably get, especially if you're a personal trainer. So, and I didn't even have to do anything, just make some videos. So yeah. The ciders from Jason that we've got tonight, starting off, we've got this Frank's Tasmanian cider story. Look at that guy. He looks happy. This one is cherry pear flavour, which is really different. It's 3.5%, so slightly weaker than the Magic 4. Premium Tasmanian cider, 100% pure fruit. Frank was the third of 6 generations of the Clark family to work the orchard at Woodside in Franklin, Tasmania. The land was first cleared and planted in the 1830s. Today, Frank's cherries and pears create this medium sweet sparkling cider bursting with fruit flavour. Real story, real cider. That's what it says. It's a product of Australia. We have another Frank cider. There we go. This one is raspberry and pear cider. Now get this one. This one's 8%. So that's a complete contrast to the other one. That's going to be interesting, that, because raspberry and pear could taste nice, easy to drink, but it's 8%, so you could get absolutely gazeboed on that. It's crafted in Tasmania to be pure, fresh and naturally luscious. Kinky. I like the sounds of this Frank bloke. Anyway, so we've got that one as well. And finally, we have one of these. I've had one of these already with Candice, but we didn't film it or anything. This is called Willie Smith's Frickin' Good Apple Cider from the Huon Valley in Tasmania, and it's a 5.4%, 355ml can. So this is made by 4th generation apple growers and new generation cider makers. A powerful beast with abundant tannin, firmness shields a soft core, leading to fleeting moments of sweet tenderness. Good to the core. This is a frickin' good cider for a frickin' good time. It's like spelt like Frequin or Fretquin. It's 100% Tasmanian apple, starring the mighty frickin' Rouge heirloom apple. Thank you very much. And that's got a strong smell to it. Oh, yeah, it's pretty strong. It reminds me of the time me and Candice had this one, of course. I'm not going to lie, we weren't a massive fan of it. I couldn't drink a lot of them though. I'm going to give it, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. We got those good ones to come. Oh, it takes your breath away a bit. Anyway, so yeah, cheers Jason, and cheers everyone to a fantastic wild camp and a great evening. And so it says an Australian Defence Force combat ration 1 man. Menu build 2019 to 2020. So in no particular order, here we go. That's bread, just bread. I'm not a fan of this, so I won't be eating this. It's some tuna. If you've been following the channel a while, you know that there's only a few things in life that I'm actually terrified of, and tuna is one of them. I absolutely hate the stuff. Cream cracker biscuits, they sound pretty good. Jack Link's peppered steak bar. Beja, and it's processed cheddar cheese. There is like a little tin opener that it comes with, you know, one of those little army ones. I've not actually used one of them before, so that's going to be interesting. If I can't figure that out, I may not be able to get into that. A chocolate bar. Jam sandwich biscuits, oh my god. They're going to be good. Some Tabasco sauce, definitely not going to be having that. Not a fan of that stuff. This is probably the most Aussie thing in the whole thing. Vegemite. And I've never had Vegemite before. B vitamins for vitality. Creamy chicken soup. Raspberry all fruit bar. That sounds good. Being treated. Some chocolate M&Ms. The Werther's Originals. Cream candies. Nice. A whole grain cereal bar with fruit and chia seeds. Wild berry flavour isotonic drink powder. Chocolate flavour protein drink. Probably not going to mix well. Not as well as my protein shakes I have at home. But we'll give it a go. Breakfast sorted. Natural muesli with fruit and seeds. Oh, instant mashed potato. Chocolate chip cake. Then we're getting on to the big meals now. We've got a chicken korma. Then this one sounds good. This is beef and pasta. They're quite small pouches, so you could fit them easily into a small pot. Get this, you even get a little scouring pad to clean up with afterwards. A tube of strawberry jam. Spoon, which looks like you could probably dig a trench with that. That's pretty sturdy. That's a decent looking spoon. Look at that. Some tissue paper. A big bag to collect water in, or rubbish, I guess. 3 tubes of what I believe to be stormproof matches. Yeah, there we go. Oh, you've got some normal matches and some stormproof matches as well. That's pretty good. So you're well catered for in terms of like fire lighting. That little tin opener, and that looks like a spoon, a really shit spoon. But that thing will probably outlive me. And then you've got some sweetened condensed milk. I've never had that before, like a tube of that. More tissue paper, a random little bit of card, could be tinder, an elastic band in there. Told you it was a lot. Bear with me, stay awake. The little packet of bits and bobs, I guess. We've got a tea bag, instant coffee, sugar, white sugar, another sugar and another coffee, another tea bag, creamer, another tea bag, another instant coffee, tomato ketchup. Interesting. I'm trying to think what that's going to go with. Tea bag again, instant coffee again, white sugar again, black pepper. Not a fan of pepper really. Some salt, another white sugar, some more black pepper. Blimey, the food could be quite bland then. Some more salt, some white sugar again, some white sugar again, some more tomato ketchup. There's so much stuff in this. Mentos, like just chewing gum, and there's 2 packs of them. Some more Tabasco sauce and an elastic band, another elastic band, and another of those little tin openers and rudimentary spoons. And that, I believe, is it. It's a lot of food, although it looks more than it is. I think, you know, once you break it down into the meals and stuff, most of it's just like condiments and accessories to go with the main meals. So I'm looking forward to that though. I'm getting pretty hungry. I'm getting quite chilly as well. Sat here, I've got loads of warm stuff in the tent, but the sun's gone round sort of behind the cliffs now, and it's it's a little bit colder. So, and there's still people arriving on the beach, families and whatnot and stuff. Enough yakking, and let's get snacking. Woo! So I've made a start on the food. I've just made a tea, just waiting for it to cool down. I tried getting into the beggar, whatever it is, cheese. Literally, like, I don't know how you use those little tin openers. So I just sort of tore it, and I just got one bit open. I can't get to the rest. It's a bit bland. It's really hard to spread. Honestly, give me the British Army ration pack cheese spread any day. The stuff that's got like salt and it looks orange. Everyone hates it. I'm the only person I think that likes it, but it's so much better and a bit more flavourful, and it's easier to spread. That's a nightmare, but made do. And I sort of had it on the crackers. They were quite dry, quite bland, but most crackers are, I guess. And I had the all fruit bar that was, I can't remember it, but it was like almost like a chewy fruit bar, like a jelly sort of sweet bar you get in the French ones. That's it. All fruit bar raspberry. That was quite nice. It was quite dense and really chewy, like hard to chew, unlike the French ones, but you got more of it, so that was good. I've just boiled up the beef and pasta. I'm just using a Hexi stove tonight, and I've got some meths as well, alcohol stove, but I'm just using up some hexamine tablets that I found. It smells good. I don't know if that's just because I'm hungry that I started getting really cold, and it wasn't because like the temperature dropped, it's because I've not eaten a lot today. Like I've been eating a hell of a lot lately, like I say, you know, in tandem with the training and stuff, and you just got to eat food, and I've not eaten nowhere near enough today, so I'm sort of feeling a bit of a headache, you know, a bit cold, so I need to get some calories in me. Right, I'm not gonna lie, this does look like something a baby's thrown up or a dog shat out its backside, but oh, there's a bit of pasta. It's so sloppy it's going to come off the spoon, but yeah, very soft and mushy. There's no like denseness to it. It's literally, you could, that's probably one stage up from being a liquid. Like I could drink that. It's a little bit bland, it's not the most flavourful. Oh, there's a bit of meat there, let's try that out. The beef has got a little bit more chew to it. It's alright. It's alright. Sorry, Jason. It's alright, mate, but I have had better main meals from a ration pack. I can't remember them because it was a long time ago, but I can tell that would give me like heartburn and acid reflux, so I'll crack out my tablets to counteract that in a minute. It's going to be fun. Nearly finished that freaking good cider, and it's average, as I say. I'm not in a rush to drink them tonight. So far, it's not much to shout about this. There's some vegetables in it, I think. It feels like there's not a lot of pasta or beef in it. It just tastes like gravy and mush. That's how I describe it, with the odd bit in it. I'm gonna have a go at this chocolate chip cake. I've not put it in the pot to heat up or anything. I'm just gonna have it cold and see what happens. It's quite dense looking. It looks more like a brownie, I would say. There we go. It's basically a chocolate brownie. It's not bad. It's got like a sort of a shiny texture to it. It's very dense. Like it's not chewy or anything. It's just like, I don't know. It just tastes like it's full of air. And it's got a bit of chocolate flavour to it, but it's very artificial tasting. And you know, you can kind of taste like the preservatives in it and stuff. I think I made the right decision having that cold, because it wouldn't have made any difference to it if it was hot. I don't think there's no sauce in it or anything. It's, yeah, it's weird because it's got no oxygen absorber packet in it, which I was quite surprised about. I thought they usually have to have things like that in those, but obviously not. I've just had a sip of the tea, and that wasn't bad. That was pretty good tea. I think that's probably the two best things I've had so far, really. I've got my little hexagon wood stove as well with me tonight, and I've got a fire log and some tinder for it, so if the wind dies down enough, or I can make a rock wall, I might have the fire as well, and then in which case, to put it out, I'll just go and collect some seawater and pour that on it, put it out, bury it. Won't use my plain water up, so that's essential at the moment. Right, the next cider that I cracked open is the Frank's raspberry and pear cider, the 8% one. I thought, get that out of the way. Hasn't got much of a smell to it. I don't know if it's like the pear is kind of masking the raspberry or vice versa, I'm not sure, but there's not a lot of smell to that. It's weird. Okay, let's try it. Cheers. Oh no, that is different. It doesn't taste strong at all. It's got kind of a florally taste to it. It reminds me of like potpourri or pot puree, however you want to say it, potpourri, pot puree. I can imagine if you ate some of that, that's what it would taste like. It would taste like that cider. It almost reminds me of the Brothers Parma Violet cider, which I absolutely hated. It's better than that. It doesn't taste like an 8% at all. It's not, excuse me, more tea, Vicar. It's not strong at all. That's deceiving. You could drink loads of those, think it's a 4%, and end up having your stomach pumped in a park or something, you know, with someone else's shoes on. It's such an unusual taste. I've never tasted a cider like that before. I'm being generous. I want to give it a 6 out of 10. Sorry, Jason, I know it's not going so well, is it? I've given stuff like average scores or said it was a bit naff. Yeah, I'm going to be generous and say 6, but I could go down to like a 5.5. It's better than that freaking good cider anyway. That was foul. I'm not going to lie. I think I was quite generous with the 5 for that, and it was very strong. The tannin was so strong in it. It was, but this is better, definitely. Go on, 6 out of 10 for this, yeah. Frank's raspberry and pear cider, 8%. I've had the fire going for a little while. Like I said, I've just got one of those little fire logs that you that's wrapped in like a flammable paper, and I've cut it into thirds so it fits in my little hexagon wood stove. It's like a little titanium Vargo stove. It's by a company called Vargo. Had it years and mine's completely warped and bent out of all shape and stuff, and it still works though. I think it cost me about 75 quid. It wasn't cheap because it's titanium, and I think I had to get it from Japan. This was, like I say, years ago. One of the first bits of kit I ever bought, especially like lightweight kit anyway. And yeah, I just cut the log up into thirds. It fits in fine. I've got some of that like wood wall, the Twizzler things, and they just light straight away. And the log should burn, it says, for a total of like 90 minutes, but I find if you cut it up into bits you can make it last a bit longer than that, of course. So not as big a fire, but to be honest it's fine. It's all I need just to keep me warm and gives me a bit of extra light for filming, some ambience. So we're on to the final cider for the evening. It's that other Frank cider, cherry pear cider. Interesting combination. And it's 3.5%. So far the ciders have been a little bit average. They've been different, definitely different, so it's always good to try different stuff, but I'm afraid they've been a little bit average in my opinion. It's been so peaceful and nice just to sort of sit and do nothing really and chill out, and I've missed this. It's really good mental therapy, there's no doubt about it. It's just so peaceful, the waves and the fire going, and you haven't got to think about anything else other than, you know, getting through the night okay, keeping warm, keeping fed, keeping watered, and that's it really. And I miss that. I miss that simplicity. Life slows down, the pace of life slows down, I think, when you go camping or you go on a really like long multiple day walk that involves camping. It's the life for me. I love it, it's great. So let's finish off the night with this one. Once again, I mean, I'm getting a bit of a pear cider smell, but I can't smell the cherry in it. I'm not getting much of a cherry taste from it. A bit of a pear hint to it, but to be honest, it kind of tastes like the last one, just weaker. Like not as strong a cider. Like you know, the other one didn't taste like an 8%, it tasted less, but if you put it up against this one definitely does taste weaker then by comparison. And it is, of course, it's lower percentage, but this is the nicer one. It's probably the nicest cider. No, it is the nicest cider of the three I've had tonight. But it's still not great. It's not going to break into the 7s, put it that way. It's got like an elderflower taste to it, I think. It tastes more like elderflower and pear or something to me. I mean, I'm going to give that one a 6.5 out of 10. I think that's a fair percentage. Like I say, I wouldn't give it 7 out of 10, but it's definitely, you know, just above average, so that's good. Needless to say though, Jason, thank you very much for sending me these. I know it's taken you a long time to get all of that stuff sent because there was all sorts of issues, and it's just great to just try a lot of the stuff out tonight. So it's kept me entertained and occupied, even if I've not always been entirely keen on some of the stuff. It's just good to try new things, really, and I just appreciate the kind gesture, so thank you very much, mate. Remember, check out J&J Explore. So we're getting a tent. Temperature's dropped a little bit. Clouds are sort of cleared. The stars are coming out, which means it's going to be a little bit colder. Tent's fine so far. I've put some little hand warmers and stuff in the sleeping bag already. I've got some foot warmers in my boots at the moment as well, so I should be toasty warm. And I've still got to put some thermals on as well, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And it's just going to be nice spending the night sleeping outside in a tent for a change. Sort of feels like your first wild camp again, really. Sort of back to start again, where I've just not camped for such a long time. Anyways, I'm waffling on, getting a tent, and I will say good night in there. And I've just heard the Coast Guard helicopter flying back towards Beachy Head Lighthouse. So yeah, they were probably gone about half an hour, I think. I've sort of timed it. I sort of timed how long it takes them to fly out. Obviously, I mean, they could be attending an incident, who knows, but I think they're just like, you know, flying along the coastline, just checking up, keeping an eye out and stuff, which is good to know they're out there keeping us all safe. And yeah, so I just quickly like switched all the lights off in the tent. I was already in here, and yeah, should be fine. Makes it quite fun and exciting. Don't know why, it reminds me of that bit in Dr. No, like the first proper James Bond film, when they've landed on the beach at Crab Key, you know, Dr. No's island, that's like highly defended, and you know, it's like private and stuff, and they're hiding behind the sand dunes, and the patrol boat with the machine gun comes along and starts shooting, and they're like shouting from the boat on the megaphone, you know, like, we know you're here, we've been expecting you, come on out and you won't get hurt. And they're hiding behind the thing, and then they sod off and they come back with the dogs, and then that dragon tank thing, I don't know why, it just reminds me of that. I have a fertile imagination, no wonder I have night terrors, although I've not had any for a while. But then I've not wild camped for a while, so we will see what happens tonight anyway. I'm probably going to be a state. So everything in the tent's working fine. I'm on my Climate Static V insulated mat. I can't even remember what it is, but it's warm. I've got like a silver foam mat underneath it as well. It does the trick. I can use it year round, but to be honest with you, it's better suited for like the colder seasons, you know, like winter and stuff. We're in spring at the moment, so I think it was right. And I also figured as well, I'm probably gonna get
I'm probably going to feel the cold a bit more at the moment, because like I'm sort of out of condition in terms of wild camping. You know, once I've sort of done it a few more times again, I'll probably be like, oh, actually I'm plenty warm. So I've bought the kitchen sink this time round, just to sort of get used to it again, because your body gets used to sort of being outside at night, and I don't know, you just warm up better, you insulate better. I don't know, whatever, anyway, I don't know where I'm going, but Trekology pillows behind me, you can just see, and I've actually kept my rucksack in here, and sort of like the clothes that I've taken off, I've changed into my thermals, down jacket that's under my head as well, just to sort of prop me up a bit, because I have to sleep sort of upright. A, because I find it comfy, and B, it just helps if I do get any like acid reflux or heartburn or anything in the night, after Jason's ration packs. Like that beef and pasta did sort of give me a lot of gas, like burping, and then I was farting a lot. Honestly, if you'd have put a lit match to my arsehole, I reckon I'd have taken out Hastings. But I didn't get any acid reflux, but I could tell it was like sort of trying to not come back up. I don't know what it was, but it was definitely that. It wasn't the ciders. I mean, they didn't help, but it was definitely that ration pack, because I could taste it every time I burped. I apologise if you're eating your dinner right now. I took my little Nexium tablets, like the heartburn, acid reflux tablets, and it did help a hell of a lot. So yeah, they're going to be a mainstay in my rucksack going forward. And really, I just find dehydrated meals and like the Wayfarer wet meals to be the best for me. Yeah, they're a little bit expensive, they're lightweight. I know you have to carry a bit of water for the dehydrated ones, but they taste good. I think they taste good, and they give me all the calories and the energy I need. But you know, they don't affect me. But I don't get any issues from them, so I like them. They're good. And also Candice likes them as well, which is great. Finding something that Candice can eat in camp that means she's not going to have an upset stomach or need to go to the toilet multiple times in the night, and something she likes eating is great. So you know, I'm always happy to buy her a few meals so she can take, you know, 1 or 2 out with her when we go camping together, and that's good, because I know at least she's fed and she's warm, because she suffers a lot, bless her, when we go camping and stuff, like with the cold and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, so that's the way forward. I think I'm not going to be having ration packs again, really. So if you're thinking of sending me any food, like, thank you for the thought, but please no ration packs. Just I've got expensive taste now, I'm afraid. Like dehydrated meals or Wayfarer meals, if you want to send me anything like that, I will not turn the offer down. Thank you very much, as long as it ain't got mushrooms in it or tuna. He's getting picky now. It's nice. I've missed talking to you in the tent before I go to sleep. It's brilliant, honestly. It's great fun. Love it. So I will love you and leave you. Enough yawning. I've forgotten my own catchphrases. Bloody hell, Tom. Enough yawning, and I'll see you in the morning. That's it. Night all. Good morning all. I woke up at 6:30 a.m. and it's probably coming up to 7 a.m. now.
we've woken to a glorious morning here on the East Sussex coast. A little bit chilly, it's not too bad. Probably my attire makes it look worse than it actually is. I've just lit the fire. No sign of life in that little tent below us. It's still there. So I think it's like a budget friendly holiday home, I think, for someone in the area. Once the sun's up a little way, it'll hit this spot nicely and should be nice and warm then. I'm not going to have breakfast just yet. A word on the night, I slept maybe like an hour or two here and there. I rested, that's for sure, but I've had better night's sleep. Wasn't startled or anything during the night, far from it. It was really peaceful and calm. The weather was absolutely fine. I just couldn't get to sleep really, so I'm just going to chill out here for a bit. I'm not going to have breakfast just yet. Don't know if I'm going to have all of that ration pack, by the way, that Australian Defence Forces ration or whatever it's called. The beef and pasta, like I say, it didn't agree with me that well last night. It gave me a lot of gas, so I'm probably not going to have the chicken korma, or I might just save it for another time, but I'll probably end up giving it to someone if I'm honest. I've got other meals with me, some dehydrated stuff, and there's still loads of other stuff in the ration pack as well that isn't like wet meals, so we'll have a look at that anyway. But it's just the main meals that comes in those wet meals are they just don't agree with me really. Everything else seems absolutely fine. I don't think any of that, gave me gas or heartburn, anything like that. I think it's just purely those wet meals. I've packed everything up inside and outside the tent. It's literally just taking the tent down now. So that is everything packed away. That kind of ash fire scar was there before I got here, so it wasn't me. My little fire was over there and it was self-contained, and I've collected all the ashes up as well, put all the rocks back, and all of my rubbish is in that orange bag there. Walking up through this woodland, steep woodland, and it's hard going, but the views out over the sea are worth it, and the beach at the bottom is well worth it. But it's like something out of Jurassic Park, this. And the bit where all the like the river is and stuff, turns out it's actually like a natural spring that starts from up at the top. So the water is clear, it's clean, so you can drink it, although I would probably still purify it and boil it. But this is absolutely brutal. It's like the worst bits of the North Downs Way combined. And I'm not carrying any water. I've got a lot less food. There's no alcohol. I've done a load of fuel blocks.
So we're basically on the home stretch now. This is like a cycle footpath that I took to avoid the dangerous road at the top of the cliff, which is just over that way. It's not safe walking along there really to get the other side of the road. No pavement, so I just used the OS map and a series of footpaths and found my way down here. Got the car parked at a spot that Andy from Kent Survival recommended, because he's camped at that beach twice before, I believe. All in all, it was a success. There was absolutely no phone signal at the bottom there, so no internet, no text messages, no WhatsApp, phone calls, nothing. So Candice, bless her, she's been a bit worried about me. Sort of managed to get a couple of messages through at like 3 AM last night, just saying I'm okay, but she's been worried all day, bless her. Put it this way, my phone couldn't even update the time. At one point I thought it was 2 PM, it turns out it was like 3:30 or something. So that's the only downside to camping there. I'm going to leave the video here, everyone. I sincerely hope you enjoyed joining me on this one. First wild camp back in a long time, since the lockdown really. Fingers crossed things start getting back to normal a little bit now, you know, we can get out and do more stuff like this. Get in the comments, let us know what you think as always. Until next time, take care of yourselves, look after each other and stay safe, everyone. I'll see you again soon. Bye.